Hello, my friends, my warriors. How are you today? This is Mary Mac of the Mary Mac Show. In this episode, I'd like to share with you some very interesting things surrounding Psalm 91. Now, if you're not familiar with this psalm, it is a psalm of protection, spiritual protection. And in this day and age, not only do we need projectiles and other things that the projectiles go into, which we can't discuss on this channel, unfortunately, we also need spiritual warfare, spiritual protection. So, this one time, many years ago, I was at a conference for those whose families were killed or murdered. And I stumbled upon a couple of women who were sitting outside in the hallway. And we started to talk about spiritual awareness. And they told me that they felt this heaviness around them ever since their child was murdered. And I said to them, well, I understand that. There's a lot of evil in this world. And that was over 30 years ago. And now there's evil everywhere. So I spoke to them and I said, "Did you ever try Psalm 91?" And they didn't know what that was. So I said, "Well, let me go get my Bible and I'll meet you in your room." So I went there. The two ladies were rooming together, and both of them claimed they had the same issue. They had this heaviness on their heart and a sense of this around them on a daily basis. And I said, well, we have to fix that. And so I started to take out my Bible. I went to Psalm 91, and I will read this to you after I finish this story. And all of a sudden, as I read this, I'll never forget it as long as I live. There started to be this white smoke, gray, more gray, that started to come out of the vents it was close to the ceiling, the vents, and the smoke started to come out of nowhere. And they were a little bit like freaked out. And I said, don't be freaked out. We're getting rid of those things that don't serve us. And they were just astonished that evil is real. And it is. And you can see it every day now, more than ever. Whether you listen to YouTube channels or you watch it on TV or you see all the harm that people are intentionally doing to each other, some for absolutely no reason, walking in the street with a baseball bat and just knocking someone out, bashing their head in for no reason. They have nothing to do with another person, but they've decided that they want to take their anger out on someone else. We're just going up to children in a dance recital and start stabbing them in England. I mean, it was absolutely craziness to watch this, hear this. And now this is happening almost every day. You can't even keep up with it. And so to be able to protect yourself as best you can, I recommend you reading Psalm 91 on a regular basis, even daily if you can. And it only has 16 verses. It's not that long, but it's very powerful, as those two ladies saw, and they couldn't believe it. And they asked me, what's going on? And I said, well, we're trying to get rid of all the evilness that's surrounding you. And they wrote me later on and said they felt much more at peace after I read that over them, and that they had been reading Psalm 91 on a regular basis at that point. And there are so many other times where you will feel that heaviness in your house. For me, sometimes I would smell smoke. Like I would come home from work and I'd walk in the house and I'd smell smoke. And I knew there was something that I didn't want there. And so I would open my door. Now, I know this sounds a little crazy. I would open my sliding glass door and I would just take my hand and I'd go, okay, you can leave now. You can leave now. And I give it this motion of shooing them out of the house. These little things. Everybody thinks demons are so huge. No, they're just little itsy bitsy things. If you could see them in the spirit, you'd know that they're very small. It's only Hollywood that makes them all so big and wicked. And so I would do that. And all of a sudden, there was no smoke in my house anymore. And I didn't smoke, and neither did anyone else. And so I always find that quite interesting. I've learned a lot from people who their whole life is helping others to release all kinds of evil in their lives. And it's been a great eye opener for me. So I wanted to share that with you today. There's just so much evil in this world. You know, in politics, they all say it's between red and blue. No, it's not. It's between evil and good. And you have to choose a side. You do. Because when it's your time and when, you draw your last breath, do you want to flow up to heaven and be with God in the good section of life? Or do you want to go someplace else that's not so nice? Not a hard decision, but maybe you haven't even considered making that yet. So I'm going to read this to you. It's not too long. And if you find that you're feeling this way, if you're having this oppression, this feeling of heaviness, you don't feel happy, you always feel that there's a problem, I want you to read this on a regular basis and see if it helps you. I think it will. So let me read this to you. And remember, if at any time it's too much for you, you just pause the video and you come back and read it again. And days could go by, and maybe you'll just come back and read it again. Watch this video over and over. And I believe this is going to help you. Okay? We are living in an age that is unprecedented for our generations. And it's important that we do the right thing. We do the right thing. And there are plenty of politicians and even ministers and churches that don't want to get involved with any of this. But churches especially need to wake up. They need to wake up because if you want your congregation to thrive and be well and be happy and feel secure, you need to teach them these things. So let me read this to you. Psalm 91 from the New Living Translation. Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This I declare about the Lord, that He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust Him. For He will rescue you from every trap and protect you from deadly disease. He will cover you with His feathers. He will shelter you with His wings. His faithful promises are your armor and protection. Do not be afraid of the terrors of the night, nor the arrow that flies in the day. Do not dread the disease that stalks in darkness, nor the disaster that strikes at midday. Though 1,000 fall at your side, though 10,000 are dying around you, these evils will not touch you. Just open your eyes and see how the wicked are punished. If you make the Lord your refuge, if you make the Most High your shelter, no evil will conquer you, no plague will come near your home. For He will order His angels to protect you wherever you go. They will hold you up with their hands, so you won't even hurt your foot on a stone. You will trample upon lions and cobras, and you will crush fierce lions and serpents under your feet. The Lord says, I will rescue those who love me. I will protect those who trust in my name. When they call upon me, I will answer. I will be with them in trouble. I will rescue and honor them. I will reward them with a long life and give them my salvation. It's nice. It's comforting. And I'd like to believe it's very reassuring. So when you have a chance, rewind this and listen to it again. Or you can find it online, Psalm 91. It's in many different translations. I read you the one from the New Living Translation, NLT. So I love you. And I know this is very, very hard right now, living in these times. But you are strong and you're brave. You're very brave. Living in this day and age is not an easy thing. Getting more prepared each day is important. We don't know what's coming, and we mostly don't believe, or I should say, we don't know exactly not only what's coming, but when it may be here. It's a strange time, but I know you will endure. And no matter what comes your way, if you've accepted Jesus into your heart, you will be just fine. And you don't have to have fear because you know where you're going. You know where you're going to live everlasting life. So be well, my friends. I love you. If you have questions, please put them in the comments section. If you have comments, put them in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, which helps us so much, and like and share this video. I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye now.